For you, Flip.
What up,
Do you,
sis?
are you just trolling, or do you really be feeling like Mark be pandering?
He definitely be
Both.
pandering.
Now, I didn't ask you. I want to know about Flip.
Both.
Okay,
Wait, what?
explain how. Both. Give me both reasonings.
I'm trolling because I understand why he panders. So I'm just being a dead horse. He is who he is. And I feel like when Mark explains something, I feel like Mark is aware of his strengths and he leans into that. Or he did at one point. I do feel like he really believes in what he believes in. But me, I'm just I want to find something wrong in anybody anyway. Even if he don't believe in it, I'm like, you from the hood, you from Philly, you've been around. A lot of niggas know Mark. Mark, like you see when Mark said, yo, when I go to the JBP, I feel comfortable. Mark, you outside. You understand what's going on. And him and I had private conversations that I don't want to get into. So I'm saying, nigga, you know the game. He does believe in it because even privately he told me he believes in a lot of these things. But I feel like it's just strength that you just mastered. You lean into it and you got, just,
Okay, so
that
here's
shit
my
can't go.
thing. If he believes in
Yeah.
it, it can't be pandering, because pandering is literally saying something that you don't believe in just to satisfy somebody else.
No, true. But at the same time, he knows that sometimes women do bullshit, but he won't say they do bullshit. That's the pandering part. He would acknowledge like, yo, that's a bullshit, but he won't say it. He won't go on the camera and say he doesn't. That's why I say, yo, you pandering to them. Because you know what's some bullshit. If you ask him a question in another scenario, he'll be like, yo, that's some bullshit. But he's not going to say it. He's not going to go on the public platform and say it like that. Or he may say it in a different way.
See,
So I say that he panders.
this is my thing with that, because it's like
Sure.
I felt like this is where
Hey, yo,
y'all had this.
hey, yo, I'm sorry. If I cut off, I'm going through a tunnel. I'll be right back, okay? But yeah,
Okay.
I'm listening. Juicy, can I? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. Juicy, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Is that me?
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Good.
Flip. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, Juicy, if somebody realized that their core audience like this version of them, wouldn't they lean into it more and make sure they don't upset their core audience? I'm just asking you a question.
I think that depends on the person. Honestly, some people definitely do for business purposes. Some people don't, and it works, and some people don't, and it doesn't work. So, I mean, that honestly depends on the person and what morals they choose to do. But I understand when people do it. But I don't think that's what I don't be seeing that in Mark yet. And maybe it'll take me watching more. But I'm not seeing him lean into shit for the sake of, oh, I want to pander to bitches.
I think what
Well,
Flip said,
yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
when Mark is in black spaces, his commentary and opinions are majority women centric. And so I think that that's what the men on the pod are referencing, or what Flip is saying, and where Mark has recognized that his base or a lot of his listeners come from black women. So his opinions are more centered around the things that black women would agree upon.
And he would not. And I don't want to say because I met Mark and like I said, I spoke to Mark privately. I'm not going to say he doesn't believe in these things, 'cause he does. But I also had a conversation with Mark as a not acknowledge, like, yo, Mark, that's some bullshit. Yeah, they be doing some bullshit. Yeah, but he's not going to say that. He'll tell you, I'm not going to say certain things. Well, he told me he's not going to say certain things. So the only angle I could approach
Snitching,
him is
Flip.
with, like, yo,
Snitching.
you. No, it's not really snitching because he admitted it on the pod when we talked about it.
Okay.
The only thing about it is that, yeah, the only thing about it is that he's not going to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to approach him with the, yo, you pander to the people, you pander to the women, man, get out of here. And I told him that. I told I said, Mark, I'm always going to have this approach because the angles and the shit you be telling me, you think you slick.
But
You know, I
I
just
feel
get
like
fucking with him. But I
Flip,
do respect. Yeah,
to answer that,
I'm
I
sorry,
feel
go
like
ahead.
you can feel a way, but you can also know that the way you feel is wrong as fuck.